people's house. Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate, 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house, I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers, I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game's strong. Freedom with the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big farmer, big tank, Tony juice bag. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hands, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops, power plays, all day I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus! It's the people's house. Big Zeus! Powers in the air. Zeus. We knocking on the door. Zeus.
We wanna hear your song.
Yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People or them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks, and the rally outside, and the gates is locked. This power never divides. Sitting for the block.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap.
They do.
Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, powers in the air.
You know they want to start reporting your boy already.
Knocking on your door.
No reports yet, but you know they want to. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well? Can you hear me? Make sure you all can hear me very well. Yes, no, can you hear Big Zeus? All right, thank you, everyone. Welcome to the show. Happy Friday. Gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Gotta have it charging too. Hey, good morning, Rick. Nice to see y'all. All of you in the chat. Good morning. Happy Friday. Yvette, good morning. Wow, nice to see ya. I'm snipping so my spreadsheet. Hey. Let's go, let's go. Hey, got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited. All right, here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live.
It's a lie.
Yes. Shit was radical.
Really?
It was horrible. I'm
Really?
like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
Oh,
It's
you
like
got
deja
me.
vu. It's like deja
I got you. Don't worry. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm off the rails. They got so many bad things to say about me. And none of it really is true because they haven't seen Off the Rails, to be quite honest. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. It's Friday, September 19th, 2025, you know. And once again, we're gathered here to do the wonderful work it takes to save this great country of ours from, guess who? The evil clutches of Donald J. Trump. and his legion of MAGA demons. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and get structured over here. Just give me one quick second. I gotta hold on one.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these rats. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out
All right,
the
yes.
trash. It's return of the Mac. They say I'm off the rails.
There we go.
I can't wait for you.
Okay, all right, I'm back. All right. I'm sorry. Welcome back. All right, I'm sorry. CD, I see you're still here. Listen up. Now, many of you know exactly what we do over here on this type of platform, on this channel. What we do is spectacular. What we do is incredible. It's diabolical in a way. It's theatrical. It's magical. It's sensational, all right? What we do is hold Donald Trump and his legion of MAGA demons accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as crimes. And I would actually venture to go as far and say perhaps even war crimes. War crimes, yeah, because I still don't think he got congressional authorization to drop those boom booms on Iran. And I know, using the military to go after these little boats. I say, you know what? We really got to do what we have to do. Get the truth out there. And you know what? I see what they're doing to Jimmy Kimmel. And I say, how did this end up happening to this great country of ours, right? And so before I go any further, I just love to give people a big heads up on my platform. I'm not like everybody else. It's not going to come to you as a surprise what I do. I'm definitely going to confront the MAGA demon. And the way that I do that is because I got so much evidence to prove to MAGA every single day that they are living in a cult and that there's a demonic force that's got them not acting, really. It's revealing who these people truly are to the American people and to the public at large, right? And that includes people all across the world. They see who MAGA really is. And we all know they're a bunch of liars, they're a bunch of hypocrites, and they're a bunch of people who like to protect P3DOs, And this is just what it is. And all we're saying is, listen, let's not pretend anymore. Wear your badges with honor, right? Yeah. Wear your badges with honor. If you're evil, vile, disgusting human beings, then just say that's what you are. And so we can move on and deal with you accordingly, all right? And so with that being said, I'll say this. Are there any Trump supporters out there? Anybody still supporting Donald Trump? Good morning. Okay, good morning to you, David. Anyone out there still supporting Donald Trump? Good morning, Erica. Nice to see you. WK said, heck no. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, because here's the thing. If you are still supporting Donald Trump, which to me means you don't love yourself, you hate your country, that means you're a snowflake at this point. Because I've never seen so much evidence that MAGA, every MAGA accusation is truly, I believe that in all the way to the depths of my beautiful soul, every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession. All right. And we'll get into that in short order. So I'll say this. If you're a Trump supporter and you don't want me to ruin your breakfast, your lunch, dinner, and everything in between, I don't know what it is besides cheese. It's a Diet Coke and Fox News. Leave my live right now and you can go hang out with these fake TikTok hosts. They don't come over to my platform. They hide in the shadows. They lurk. They're in here on their backup accounts. And I know that because when I venture off into red spaces, they always try to ambush me, sort of like they did the good Lord in the Bible. They want to ambush you. You're going, whoa. Where was all this energy Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time? When I've been asking, if you're a Trump supporter, put a 1 in the chat. And none of you ever do it. But all of a sudden, you got something to say to Big Zeus. All right, leave my platform right now because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise you it will. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Yeah.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Boom. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they've officially closed. Listen, sparks are going to start flying. And that's just what happens when you start telling the truth. Get your shields, get your weapons and whatever. We're talking in the sense of being on TikTok. We're not really promoting violence over here at all. And anyone promoting violence on this channel, I'll just have to drop you because that's not what we're about. We're about spreading love. But listen, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you the truth, and it'll make you sick. All right. It'll be that kind of sickness. Like, you know, you're going through a serious breakup, right? And you've been sick and you're not eating, and you want some of this soup? I don't want any soup. That's how sick you're going to be after listening to Big Zeus. But it's a good sick because you're going to come out on the other side feeling a lot better. All right. W Zeus. No, I'm not telling any jokes. Now I want to address the hypocrisy in the cult. It's been brought to my attention that we still have folks that know how to read and wipe their own behind, but they can't tell the truth to save their life. They are literally out here trying to convince the American people that the most dangerous people in the United States of America are the people that are on the, quote, left. And they use content on the internet where they hear how people are responding to the way Charlie, CK was unalive, and they're assuming all these people and all these people that are responding that they don't like, they're assuming all these people are on the left, which is not true. If you ask a lot of people, are you on the left? They'll say, no, I'm not on the left. I'm not in any party, right? But this is MAGA making up a narrative to fit whatever it is they're trying to pull on us, which is ultimately leading to them basically losing their own rights and their own freedom. I've been telling you, Trump supporters, listen up. If y'all keep going down this path, Donald Trump will single-handedly destroy you, but he'll use us as the justification for destroying you. And while you're cheering it on and going broke, your utility bills are going high and through the roof, I just want you to know he's done an outstanding job tricking you all to believe that the boogeyman is the left when it's really him, W Zeus. This is W Zeus, right? So the first thing I want to talk about, this is hypocrisy, and this is why I'm going to send somebody straight to hell. Does anyone know who this is? Does anybody know who this is right here, ladies and gentlemen? Does anybody know who that is? Because CD, do you know who this is? I didn't think so. Nobody knows. Isn't that something? Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Open borders with people pouring in, some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble.
Yeah. See, I don't want to talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, no. Jimmy Kimmel don't scare Big Zeus and the rest of the country. Nah, we ain't scared. We're scared of the forgotten man, the forgotten woman out there, lurking in the shadows, ready to unleash hell on the United States of America through their just barbaric acts, disgusting acts. And I'll tell you right now, I look at him and I say, I can see the MAGA demon all into his eyes. Now, let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll give you an update. I'll tell you. I'll let the news explain to you who this MAGA demon is.
City mayoral candidate.
Oh.
We begin here at 5 o'clock with a man who is charged with making death threats against the New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani.
Police arrested Jeremy Fistel in Texas and brought him here to Queens to go before a judge. The repeated threatening calls caused law enforcement to increase security for the Democrat.
Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager live in Kew Gardens, Queens, with what we know at this hour. Stacey?
Well, Mike, this is a 22-count indictment, and we want to warn you, the details and language of it are pretty ugly. 4 of these counts involve a felony charge, making terroristic threats as a hate crime. All of this set against the backdrop of escalating political rhetoric in our country and a heated mayoral race.
He walked out of court with his attorney today, facing a host of cameras and reporters.
Anything you want to say?
But he said nothing. 44-year-old Jeremy Fistel of Plano, Texas, shaking his head in the courtroom at times as Queens prosecutor Christina Mavrikas laid out the case. She also read a series of horrific messages Fistel allegedly left for mayoral frontrunner Zohran Mamdani. It was back in June at the Assemblyman's Astoria office, and the messages are chilling. This is only a sample.
Hey Zohran, you should go back to Uganda before someone shoots you in the head and gets rid of your whole family too. Muslims don't belong here. Go on and start your car. See what happens. Yeah, and keep an eye on your house and your family. Nobody wants your terrorist ways here. And check your beeper too. Terrorist. Beep beep.
Fistel's defense attorney adamant about saying, think what you will about his client's ugly remarks.
I hope you get terminal cancer and die a painful death very soon.
But he says they don't threaten immediate harm as the statute requires.
By saying somebody, I wish this happened, or I want this to happen, or I hope somebody does this, it's not a terroristic threat.
You don't think start your car and see what happens is an immediate type of threat?
No, because he's not saying that's what he is doing or going to do.
And in an already contentious New York City mayoral race set against a backdrop of national political violence, New York's Mayor Eric Adams didn't exactly condemn the hateful comments. Instead,
there's something ironic about a person who called for protection for his life, but don't understand why we don't want to defund and disband our police department to protect everyday New Yorkers.
Seemingly piling on after Mamdani asked for police protection. Meanwhile, Mamdani's campaign responding to the arrest today, saying, unfortunately, threats of this nature are all too common, and they reflect a broader climate of hate that has no place in our city. We are thankful for the security measures in place for both the Assembly office and the campaign.
So we have, they said T, it's not just regular committing crime. This is T. This is escalating to the level of T. You know what I mean? MAGA. And y'all have nothing to say about it at all. Do you? Does any Trump voters out there think this is an act of evil? Is anyone out there? Because see, I'm not making this stuff up. Go fact check me. Right, MAGA Queen, go fact check me. Because all I do is get out here and spread what you say is, hey, how's it hate when I'm informing and educating the American people that the narrative that it's the left that is truly the one that's a danger to society? I'm pushing back and saying, no, we have this guy right here in Texas, good old Texas, and no disrespect to the wonderful people out in Texas, because Texas is a beautiful state. But I understand we got a lot of folks out in this country that are actually promoting this stuff, and they're not on the left, they're on the right. Right. And so what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, because like I told MAGA, it's the same thing, make you laugh, it'll make you cry. Let's go ahead and warm up this Laker fire, and this is for the Texas man. What's his name? Jeremy Fistel. See how life works? You dig a ditch to try to catch Democrats, but you end up falling in it yourself, right? Good Lord never lied. And this is why I'm going to take care of the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send him and all these so-called hypocrites that get out here and pretend they victims, but then get out here and terrorize the American people. Let's send them where they belong. Straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Before I move on to my next topic, are there any Trump supporters out there that want to come up here and apologize for lying and saying it's the radical left when we see it's the radical right? Anybody out there? Anybody out there that want to come up here and apologize to Big Zeus? I'll go ahead. But then if you don't want to apologize, then we'll just continue to move on, ladies and gentlemen, and cover my next topic. I like to give them the opportunity to defend this. All right, make it make sense to Big Zeus. Make it make sense. See, I don't go for the gaslighting when Donald Trump and MAGA talk. That's how I have a lot of patience and I could be calm in this space, because I know their house is burning down, proverbially, so to speak. Right? They're the ones that are truly in a bad situation. And I'm just sitting there going, now, how long are you going to stay there before you get the clue? Or are you going to sit there and go out with the house? And a lot of them are going to go out with the house. And that's why I say, you're not going to be here, MAGA. A lot of MAGA won't be here around midterms. It'll be due to a number of reasons, right? It could be a number of like natural disasters, right? MAGA's not safe when it comes to natural disasters. You don't have the protection. Donald Trump isn't giving the funding to you, right? When it comes to your health, Donald Trump's not giving the funding to the CDC and all these agencies. We believe in science. Y'all don't. So y'all, when y'all get sick, guess what's going to happen? Y'all got to fight, rough it out, and you might not make it. Y'all the ones flying to Russia because you don't want to be woke anymore. You can redistrict and gerrymander all you want, but the truth don't need that. The truth is going to be where it needs to be, and I do believe a majority of Americans, regardless of where you put the boundaries, they're going to go, we're not doing this. W. Zeus. Now let's listen to Mike Johnson talking about freedom of speech real quick, because this is important.
Courts. I was a federal court.
Hold on.
My background. Well, listen, my background is in the courts. I was a federal court litigator, literally defended free speech as a career for about 20 years, religious freedom and the freedom of speech and our fundamental rights. We have to jealously guard that, you know, and I think we are. ABC is a private company. You've heard a lot of consternation about private companies firing or reprimanding employees for going online and glorifying the tragic death of a young father and young husband, and it's detestable. So in the private employer space, you have all the right in the world to have standards for your company, standards for your broadcast brand, and you know, they get to make that decision. And I don't think that's a violation of the First Amendment. You don't have a First Amendment right to stay employed if you're going to engage in that kind of crazy action online, and in many cases it really is inciting further violence.
Okay, so you don't have, let me read that. Let me hear what Mike Johnson say. They call him MAGA Mike.
Engage in that kind of crazy action on right to stay employed if you don't have a First Amendment right to stay employed if you're going to engage in that kind of crazy action online. And
you don't have the First Amendment right to engage in that kind of crazy action. And MAGA believes this. MAGA believes this. W. Maddie, thank you. And I know there are people on here, and I don't call them real content creators. I call them where we're at now, snitches. These people are snitches. What they'll do is they'll go into your profile and they'll comb through it, and then if they see anything that they think is offensive, then they're going to try to report you, all right, to your employer perhaps, or to the FBI. This is what MAGA is doing now, and I'm going, wait a second. Aren't these the same people that got mad when they were thinking Democrats were snowflakes? But this is to me, this is a big example of folks being snowflakes. When you can't handle your feelings getting hurt, this has to be the greatest problem in the country. Folks can't even handle getting their feelings hurt. And so they're reporting people, and I'm hearing whispers that it's actually backfiring now, because now they're also reporting themselves amongst each other. And there's Trump supporters possibly out here losing their jobs. This is crazy. They don't understand that what goes around comes around. And I said, this is another example of how MAGA is going to get themselves in a lot of trouble come midterms, because all of them might be just locked up. And they get on here and they proudly say, I snitched. I got them whacked from their job. I got them whacked from their job. This is, you know, and I go, oh, okay. So number one, I hope MAGA understands that what goes around genuinely, it will go around, because people don't like that. People don't like that. And, you know, and I've always cautioned people to be professional and respectful when you're online. But listen up, MAGA, in the spirit, honestly, of holding people accountable for what they've said and done online, I wanted to remind you of a story, and perhaps this might ring a bell, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to ask y'all, do y'all remember these two knuckleheads right here? And these two knuckleheads, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, they got caught online too. You see, so MAGA, I want y'all to enthusiastically say W. Joe Biden in the chat while I play this story, all right, about these two. Let me go ahead and give you a story about it, all right? Let's go.
From the Capitol chaos continues.
There are images from it, the ones that you see here, that are ingrained in our minds forever. As we've learned, 150 people have been arrested since this attack, and hundreds more arrests are expected to come.
And two of them local police officers who have now been fired and face federal charges. 10 News reporter Lindsay Kennett joins us live tonight in Rocky Mount. Lindsay, what led to the final decision?
It all started with a photo. Now those two Rocky Mount police officers have been fired, Jacob Fracker and Thomas Robertson. Former Rocky Mount police officers Jacob Fracker and Thomas Robertson now fired from the department after this photo of them surfaced on social media, sparking a federal investigation. Both facing charges relating to entering the Capitol. 10 News tracked down the officers' addresses listed in a search warrant. I knocked on this door. The warrant states it's where Fracker lives, and his mother-in-law answered. She didn't want to talk on camera, but tells me it's not fair how her son-in-law is being portrayed, and now he's lost his job, and she has a grandchild who needs to be cared for.
Now, see MAGA? See MAGA? I want you to understand. This little game, now they were actually breaking the law. This little game you're playing, it ain't going to end the way you think it is, because if you posted a video saying you reported somebody, I just want you to know somebody got the video of you doing that, and it just goes on. And I try to help folks like y'all understand. You make your bed, you gotta lay in it. Right is right, wrong is wrong. So, yeah, you heard McDonald's is hiring. So, does anybody out there that supports Donald Trump think these two demons right here shouldn't have been fired because of what they posted online, even though it was committing crimes? Who doesn't think these men should have been fired? Raise those hands up. Raise those MAGA paws up. Put those MAGA paws in the air. Show me your ignorance, your hypocrisy. Yeah. So, you see how they get zipped up? They frustrated, aren't you? You frustrated, ain't you, MAGA? Because you didn't think this all could come back and be a huge issue for you. So if you are a Trump supporter right now, actively involved in trying to get folks on the internet canned or terminated, I want you to understand, keep that same energy when we bring up January 6th or this Texas man who's unleashing hell on the country because he's pushing hatred. But you won't do that because that would require you to have something we know you don't got. A soul? No, not just a soul, but a spine, right? And you don't got that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up this lake of fire once again. And let's send these so-called hypocrites, these so-called Christians, where they came from. Where's that Zeus? Straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do also want to talk about the MAGA's dear leader yesterday, who went on to Fox News. Obviously we're all watching Donald Trump. He has serious dementia. All right. I genuinely, I don't think Donald Trump really knows what's going on, because I think the people around him are honestly taking advantage of how ignorant he is. And they're really feeding him a lot of stuff, a lot of BS. And so I think Donald Trump believes this. Did you see this? Ladies and gentlemen? The economy is back on track under President Trump. How many people out there? Caroline Levitt posted this. And I said, wow. And then he went and did this Fox News thing. How many people think the economy is back on track on this show? How many people think the economy is back on track? I'm losing. Oh, well, Katie, you said I'm losing. Come on up here, Katie. Oh, no, Katie, you're probably at work. Okay, Katie, if you think I'm losing, Katie, when I open up the box, please just come on up here. Go ahead and tell your boss, your manager, or if you're in the bathtub right now, because that was your excuse last time, I'm in the tub right now. Go ahead and dry off, and then go ahead and get your real account, Katie. And you come on in here and you tell Big Zeus how I'm losing. Because here's the thing, Katie, if I'm losing, you're definitely losing. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straight up with you. If Big Zeus is losing, Katie, that's a huge W, Zeus. So let's listen, Katie, to what real losing is. All right, Katie? And this is to me, and you walked right into it, Katie. Let me see. All right, let me see if I can get you on track with what I'm saying. Let's see. Okay, here you go, Katie. Remember this, Katie? Let's see. Let me see if I can get this. Oh yeah, here it goes. Let me see if you can. Let's start off with this. Let's see if I can get this queued up. You know, because sometimes these videos, ladies and gentlemen, don't really pop off the way you want them to pop off. Jesus Christ, hold on. Because Katie made me go here. She made me go here. Hold on. Here we go.
I'll end that war between those two countries in 24 hours. It won't even take that long. Mark my words, I'll stop that war in 24 hours. I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine totally settled. I'll have it done in 24 hours. I would have a deal done in 24 hours from the time we started. And even now, I can solve that in 24 hours. I can do it in 24 hours. I know both players, and I can do that in 24 hours.
End the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
Yes, sir.
How would you do that?
I know Zelensky very well.
Okay.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly. Quickly. I will get the problem solved, and I will get it solved in rapid order, and it will take me no longer than one day. I know exactly what to say to each of them. I got along very well with them.
So, Katie, that's Donald Trump promising you that he would be, you know, in your world, winning. So let's listen to Donald Trump as of September 18th. That's yesterday, Katie, in case you didn't know. All right. And let's listen to him tell us how we are winning in terms of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine.
Today into the Baltic Sea to chase away Russian fighter planes. What is Putin doing?
You know, I'm disappointed in Putin. I'll tell you, I'm very disappointed in him. I settled 7 wars at least, but I settled 7 wars, all of which they said were not settleable.
Settleable.
And I got them done, and you know.
All of which were not settleable. Well, are you saying the conflict between Russia and Ukraine is settleable? Or is it not settleable too? Because if it's not settleable, then you should be able to settle it because you settled 7 other settleable wars, right? I don't know. I'm just a thinking man. All right. But listen, Katie, go ahead, get your main account, get out of the bathtub. Come listen to what I'm playing. W Zeus. Katie, come on back. I don't see you in my comment section.
7 wars at least, but I settled 7 wars, all of which they said were not settleable. And I got them done. And you know, the ones I'm not going to bore you going over a long list, but they were wars that were very tough to settle. Even the Congo in Africa, Rwanda, going on for many, many years, almost 10 million people killed, settled, got them all done. And the one I thought was going to be easiest was going to be Russia-Ukraine because of my relationship with President Putin.
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed. If you listen to some people, the ones like in Poland were shot down and they fell in.
Katie, could you help me understand this, Katie? And go get your main account. Why did he invite Vladimir to the United States? Does anybody know why Donald Trump invited Vladimir Putin, a war criminal, one who traffics children? You can go look it up. Ukrainian children, puts them on a website, sells them to the highest bidder. Why would Trump invite him to Alaska, Katie? Has anyone seen Katie? Has anyone seen Settleable? Has anybody seen Katie? Oh, okay. I figured Katie get real quiet once this truth starts going around.
To Polish territory, but they shouldn't have been that close anyway. They were drones. And
do you think it was a mistake? The Polish prime minister said it was not a mistake, that they were intentionally into Polish territory.
You know, I can't comment on whether it was a mistake or not. They shouldn't have been there, let's face it. But supposedly they were disabled. Yeah. You know, they disabled drones today. That's the great attack on a drone is.
And you can just hear it in his voice, Katie. He doesn't sound like he's confident anymore about being able to settle this settleable conflict, this settleable war, right, Katie? So actually, Katie, I caught you lying, saying I'm losing. It's not me that's losing. You just lost, Katie. And it gets worse, Katie, because now I want to talk to you, Katie, because the main thing that I want to hear when I listen to Donald Trump, the main thing, bro, I want to know is how are we doing in terms of our economy, right? And according to what Caroline Levitt posted yesterday, she says the economy is back on track under President Trump. And initially, I was thinking perhaps she's lying. But then I thought about it and I said, you know what? Katie, let me see if I could get this up here. Oh, no, I got to do it this way for you, Katie. this is what she means when she says the economy is back on track, meaning, yeah, it's actually worse than it was under Joe Biden. And that's where Donald Trump wants it. He wants an economy that looks and smells and feels like his diaper.
Spent a few days here and gotten a close look at what's going on.
I just think he's a really fine person.
Hold on.
Him and his wife, and you get to know people. I think he's a very fine guy. He's more liberal than me.
This is the economy.
I think he should take a very strong stand on the immigration.
This is the economy. Hold on, he's going to trick us.
I think he has to open up the North Sea. They have some of the best oil in the world, and they have a lot of it.
Here
they
goes.
have a lot of it. And they made it impossible for people to drill, and I think that's what causes their energy. They have a big energy problem here with the pricing.
See, you got to appreciate how he can go from one subject to another. And this reporter, she's on Fox. What's her name? Martha. She does an excellent job because this is obviously something she knew she had to bring up. So he walks right through the door about the economy. And this is incredible. This is a magician at work.
Whereas our pricing is way down. We're going to be close to $2 a gallon for the cars very soon. We're up at $4 and $5. And when you bring energy down, you bring inflation. Look, I inherited the worst inflation ever. As I just said at the news conference, they say it's 48 years. And I'll accept that, but I think it's ever.
Ever.
And we now have very low inflation. We have great production. And when these factories that are being built all over the country start opening up, we're going to have numbers that like nobody's ever seen before.
You see that, Katie? So he says we're on our way to having gas for $2 a gallon. We're on our way, Katie. Don't worry, you're winning. I saw what you wrote in the chat. Look at that, Katie. 52% say it's a lot worse. But you're winning, right, Katie? I'd love to hear this. This probably would be one of the biggest lies I've heard all week, Katie. I promise you.
Why do you think that people are going to feel that? Because we do see polling that doesn't poll well in the economy. The recent Fox polling said 52% say the economy is worse.
52?
Under this administration. You've got unemployment at the highest rate in 4 years. Groceries made a big jump in the last term. So,
hey, get this, Katie. This is old Fox News. You can't even say it's CNN or MSD. This is coming right out of the same well you eat out, you drill into. This is your plug, Katie. Wow, Fox News showed Donald Trump this.
How is that? You're looking forward with these plans that you just talked about. When will people feel that, Mr.
Well, when the factories start opening. I mean, right now we're building them. And, Fox polling, I have to tell you, I've told you before, it's the worst polling I've ever had. It's always, during the election, they had me winning by a little bit, not by a...
He said Fox polling is the worst. Did you catch that? Did you catch that, Katie? Let me go ahead and give that to you again. And I said, when you say that, that means it's worse than MSDNC and CNN.
I've told you before, it's the worst polling I've ever had. It's always, during the election, they had me winning by a little bit, not by a massive amount. And Fox polling, I've told Rupert Murdoch, go get yourself a new pollster because he stinks. And this is for years now. But I will say that we have all of these things are being built. Car companies are moving back. We lost 50%, 54% we were the automobile capital of the world. And all of a sudden it got robbed by China, Japan, Germany, all these countries. Those companies, they're all coming back now to the United States. They're building car companies and factories all over. They're coming back from Mexico and Canada. We lost a lot to Mexico. We lost a lot to Canada. They're all coming back because of the tariffs.
The tariffs. Ha! You knew he was going to go right into the tariffs. All right. But if he wouldn't have gone that route, you would actually have to say, well, Trump, if you put 2 and 2 together, it's worse because of the tariffs. He should be able to connect these dots. Like, I do the connecting the dots, right? He should be able to connect the dots to this economy. But watch how he just totally messes that up, all right? Watch this.
Without the tariffs, a different story, but they're coming back because of the tariffs. And you're going to see that kick in probably in a year or so.
A year?
So,
but we're doing well anyway. Look, we have right now, when you look at our numbers, the investment that's being made in our country is, again, Biden's at $250 billion.
But where are you at?
And we're at $17 trillion.
Yeah.
That's
a big number.
No, nobody's ever heard of a number like that.
You've never heard of a number like that, Katie. 17 trillion. Ooh.
There's never been a number like that.
There never.
So, with regard to people's feeling about the economy and the tariffs and some polls show that people are concerned about the tariffs as well.
It's only because they don't understand the word tariff.
The projection is real. The projection is real. He said, they're not, you're suffering right now, Katie, financially, because you don't understand the word tariff. Did you know that, Katie? You don't understand that word. Go ahead, Trump. Tell Katie how ignorant and uninformed she is.
And look, again, we have all this money, trillions of dollars pouring into our country only because of the tariffs. I mean, I'd like to say because of November 5th, the election, but it's really because of the tariffs. And how do people avoid the tariffs? They build in this country. No different than what China did to us for years. No different than what Europe did to us for years. Europe was as bad as China. No different than what other people did to us. But we have the advantage. We actually have a big advantage on tariffs. The advantage is they want to be here. They have to be here. Right. They don't have to be in other countries. And that's why we're doing...
So, Katie, you understand what tariffs are now after listening to Donald Trump? Because he did an excellent job, as far as I'm concerned, explaining to you how you keep getting screwed over by him. He didn't. I know what a tariff is, Katie. I do, but I don't think you do. All right, that's a huge W, Zeus. But Katie, it gets worse. It gets worse.
I mean, these are numbers that nobody's ever seen before. So it's a very, very important thing. And the only people that are against tariffs are people that are in favor of other countries. For instance, we have a lawsuit. Oh, it's financed and sponsored by people from other countries because we're doing well against countries that were ripping us off. Martha, we were ripped off for years by other countries, including China. And, last term, I had a tremendously successful term last term. Oh. But this is much better. We're doing much better. If you look at regulations, I got regulations more than anybody else. We got the biggest tax cuts we've ever gotten.
Get back to the
I've
tariffs.
taken those tax cuts and extended them, and expanded them. And the numbers that we're seeing are the best, I think, that we've ever seen.
And so obviously after that elaborate, very, very well put together definition of what a tariff is and explaining to all of us who pays the tariff, now we get to ask Donald Trump, since we're doing so well, what about all that money you brought in with the tariffs? What are you going to do? What I'd like to say is this. What are you going to do with the money you stole from the American people? That's what I would. If I were the reporter and interviewing him, I would have said, "What are you going to do with the money you stole from the American people?" And just listen to once again, Katie, how he rubs it in your face, because I know you like it.
So you talk about the hundreds of billions of dollars that have come in because of the tariffs. Would you consider? Where's that money going to go? Would you consider giving it back to taxpayers while they wait for some of the things that you just talked about?
So she gave an answer. Would you consider giving it back to taxpayers, which implies what? The money he got, it came from us. Katie, would you give us the money back you stole from us with your 52% economy behind? Would you do that to save your career politically? Look at this. Listen to his answer.
Again, is that an option?
Politically, that's a nice thing to do, but you can do that, and you can also pay down debt, because we're talking about very big numbers.
So which do you like better?
Both, maybe.
Both, maybe.
I mean, I could see both. I could giving something back, because look, these people have been forced to suffer for years by being ripped off by other countries, including China, and frankly, including the European Union. The European Union was as bad as China. Now they're treating us very nicely.
Okay.
I signed a deal with the European Union. They have to pay us $950 billion. They have to buy $750 billion
So
of our
Katie,
energy.
I'm going to hit pause on that, Katie. All right, that's a huge W, Zeus. And we're going to get to the lake of fire. So here, Katie, I'm going to bring you back to where I'm at with you, all right? So as we all just sat there and we listened and we watched Donald Trump, he acknowledged that the money he stole from the taxpayers, he said, I'm going to maybe give it back. And it reminded me of his exact response when they asked him, are you going to release those Epstein files? Yes. Yeah, that one, maybe not so much, right? You know what that game means. That means no. All right. And that means he's comfortable, Katie, stealing all your hard-earned money and lying to you, slapping you in your face with all these lies, and you just say, give me more. I'm not with you. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire, all right? Because I'm going to remind MAGA, like I said, a lot of y'all going to be broke, unemployed, sick. Y'all won't be able to vote next time because your dear leader is going to take you out. And this is just another instance of how he's going to do it. And I haven't even gotten into the ICE and all that other immigration stuff. But it's coming your way too. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send these hypocrites that claim they love Donald Trump where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Zeus. Yeah. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna make sure people understand. We don't let MAGA get away. We don't let MAGA get away with their lies, their conspiracies, and misinformation. All right. So what we're gonna do now is pivot, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the box and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and to tell the truth. So if you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and get this party started. All right, let's go. I'm gonna remind them. Yeah, we're gonna remind MAGA. California is a lovely, lovely state. Shout out to Governor Gavin Newsom. Yeah, they thought I was gonna let up on them, but we're not gonna let up on them. All right. Shout out to Governor Gavin Newsom. We're gonna do guests. We're just taking a little bit of a break to get the Riz level up. Hey! Let's go. They like to say California is a bad state. No, it's not. Hey! Wild, Wild West. Let's go. Thank you, Governor Gavin Newsom. Thank you, Adam Schiff. Thank you, Vice President Kamala Harris. And thank you, Big Zeus. Put your W's up. Let's go. Hey. Ever since money was very sassy. You ain't gonna get this without California, ladies and gentlemen. It's all good. Let's go. You can't say that about Governor Gavin Newsom. Knock it off. Make sure you tap the screen, share this live, because we're about to start talking to MAGA. Maybe they don't want to come up here. I always gotta let my boy Tupac say what he gotta say, because Tupac, he lays the track with greatness, and you wouldn't have got Tupac without California. Bay Area and back down. Cali is where they put their Mac down. Let's go. Now. All right, so now we got that out the way. So you got to put it down. Get up here and try to lie to me and tell me California ain't a great state. You lost your mind. All right, if you are a Trump supporter, put a 1 in the chat. We'll bring you right on up here, and we'll address whatever lies and misinformation out there that you are dealing with. And hopefully it'll get you straight and put on the right path. All right, W the audience. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Tell them, Ange. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Remember, I had all these haters in here as long as I was beating up on their dear leader. Oh, Zeus, bring me up. Where are you at? All right, look at, where are the Trumpies? Yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Go ahead. Let's get this out of the way. It doesn't take long. I don't got all day. It's Friday, and I got other things to do besides argue with y'all. And I give you this space because I don't like going on to other people's platforms and trying to actually have a conversation, and then y'all try to whole little ambush thing. I don't like doing that. All right, so I'm going to make sure, MAGA, put a 1 in the chat and get your behinds up here and let's not play games, all right? Seriously, we don't got all morning to do this same song and dance, all right? All right, send it live to your Trump supporting friends. Go get your main accounts, and let's go ahead and engage in these conversations. Yeah. I don't know where Lion Lou. He's probably in here having they're in here on their backup accounts. All right. Yeah, they're in here on their backup accounts. We got so many people out here that I think we could, let's see who we got. Okay, we got somebody up here. Maybe this is a Trump voter. Apple user, get on up here. Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing, Apple user?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, because I ain't no Trump supporter.
Okay. All right. Where you from? Where you from, though, real quick?
One of the other states that Trump is picking on.
Oh, you can't
Massachusetts.
Okay, all right.
No, I say it. Massachusetts. He's messing with our Boston mayor.
Talk to him. Well, listen, keep it up.
He's messing with our Boston mayor.
Yeah.
And Josh Kraft, Robert Kraft's son, tried to run against her as a Democrat to get on the ticket for mayor. And he dropped out of the race because she was more than 50% over. She won all wards and precincts in Boston.
Thank you. So we don't buy the narratives out here. You can hear it in her voice, Ange. Okay, well,
because
listen.
Josh Kraft could easily have changed his party once he got in.
Yeah.
His father is a Trump supporter, so why would we trust him?
Can't do it, right? Because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. All right. Well, listen, Apple user. Thank you.
How much he tried to separate himself from his family.
Yeah.
And he ain't going to family business. No.
Wow.
No,
well,
miss us
it's
with that
amazing.
one.
I appreciate you coming up here. All right. I didn't know I was all the way up there in Boston, because I'm in California. But it's amazing that you're listening to me all the way in the beautiful state of Massachusetts. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna move it along. But all right. Thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Love your accent. It's a beautiful accent. Seriously.
Oh, really?
Oops. So sorry. But yes, I love it. W Apple user. Do we have anybody else out there? Anybody supporting Donald Trump? Please put a 1 in the chat. Come on back here. Where are all of my critics? Where are all of my detractors at? All right, because it's going to turn into an echo chamber. I promise you it will if you don't get in here and defend this guy. Your dear leader, so to speak. You're listening in North Carolina? All right. Yeah. I'm listening. Listen, these folks don't want to get up here. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. All right. Yeah, but I just did a whole spill on them. All right, let's move it along. All right. Susie Queasy, good morning. Good morning. MAGA is hiding. Do y'all think I got MAGA hiding? Do y'all think it's me that has MAGA hiding, or is it just the way things are right now on TikTok? Which one? Good morning, Susie.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm not MAGA, but I'm begging. I've been really want to say something to you. You're great. I love your show.
Oh, really? Well, thank you, Susie.
I'm from Connecticut here. I want to ask you a question, please.
All right. Let's keep it short and sweet if you don't mind, but go ahead.
Okay, I will. So, you know how Trump is suing everybody for defamation?
He got a lot of lawsuits out there.
And he's winning. He's winning. I don't understand that. Is it because... I don't understand how he's winning those.
Well, a lot of it has to do, perhaps, I don't know which cases you're talking about in particular, but I do believe there's some dirty, underhanded politics that are involved, perhaps, to a certain degree. A lot of people are afraid of, being pressured, so to speak, right? And so you just got to think about that. But there's been some victories, all right? There's been some victories out there. And just keep up the faith, because these things, they'll pass. And, we're keeping tabs of all the stuff that he's supposedly getting away with. And when midterms come, the hope is we'll be able to get the power dynamics changed so that he won't be able to get away with that. All right. But you got to keep up the fight, and you got to get out here and vote. Seriously. I don't know what side you're registered to, but I think you know what side you
I am unapologetically liberal.
Okay.
Connecticut. I'm shout out from Connecticut.
Wow, I'm in Connecticut too. Wow, Connecticut. Well, you keep up the good work, all right? And listen, just always keep it in mind. There's the short-term goals, and then there's long-term goals. And what we're really focusing on right now are the long-term goals, all right? Because short-term, whenever stuff is happening, you got to go, well, the Republicans, they're in control of government right now. So they're going to have some W's. They're going to have
But
some
we got to
victories.
get to the election. We got to make it to the election.
Yeah, let that strengthen your resolve to get out there and show up and vote. All right, and please do me a favor, especially to my fellow Democrats. Please try to set aside some of your personal vendettas with folks as much as possible, and just get out there and get the candidates in there. I know I don't think that applies to you, but we're really in a situation where we got to start looking at. I don't like this person. They're not 100% perfect, but if they're around 70, 80, we might just got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know what? Because
Well,
it's difficult.
Changed the rules of the game.
Huh?
They changed the rules of the game, so now, just like Governor Newsom is doing, we got to play their game.
Yeah.
We always go the high road, which is great.
Yeah.
But if the rules change, you got to go by the rules.
Yep. Amen.
So we have to fight back.
Amen. Amen. Well, listen, Susie, it's a pleasure to meet you. All right, and we're gonna move it on to our next guest, but thank you so much. All right.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my new friend Susie. Give her a huge round of applause. Moving on to the next panelist. Good morning, Estella. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Estella, good morning. How are you? Estella, are you there? Estella, are you there? Estella, are you there? Going once. Going twice. Gone. All right. Thank you, Estella. All right. What we'll do is we'll move on to Jones. Oops. Who's that? Who is that? Jones. Come on up here. Jay Jones. Good morning. How are you? Jay Jones, are you there? Going once. Going twice. Jay Jones, are you there? Yeah, I think there's a connectivity issue. All right. Well, we'll move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Look at who we have. My good friend, Nutty Professor. Welcome, Nutty.
What's going on? Good morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
Kingdom. How's everybody?
How
How's
are
everybody
you?
today?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So first of all, Zeus, I'm angry with you from yesterday. So, or was it? It was no. Yeah, it was day before. The day before. I'm up here trying to teach. I'm trying to teach, and you put Pac on, and I'm just like, and I had my earbud in because I was administering. I was administering an exam. So they were taking their exam.
Yeah.
And so I got the earbuds in, listening to the show, and then you play Pac, and I'm like, I'm up here trying to just stay still. I'm like, listen, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. You trying to get a brother fired from his job.
Hey. Wow.
But that was an amazing break hearing Pac, because Pac just makes you want to get up and just move.
Yeah, it do.
He makes you want to get up and move.
Yeah.
But listen, so you played Magic Mike Johnson this morning.
Correct, I sure did.
And he was 100% correct in what he said.
Mm-hmm.
ABC, NBC, CBS, they're all private businesses.
Yeah.
And all the states, I believe, even in California, all the states have what's called an at-will employment.
True.
So you're at will, and they can get rid of you for any reason or without reason whatsoever.
Correct.
However, because I know MAGA is lurking, so I'm going to give you a free education here.
Mm-hmm.
MAGA, it becomes a violation of the First Amendment right when you have the FCC chair threatening any business that they are not going to look at the business deals that's coming before your organization.
Right.
That's where the federal government comes in, and that's when it's a violation of free speech. Because if it were not for that, would Jimmy Kimmel have been fired? If it were not for the fact that Sinclair Broadcasting, I want y'all to understand who Sinclair Broadcasting is. They own over 40% of the markets in the United States.
Wow.
This one family, y'all.
Wow.
This one family who is ultra conservative. They threatened that they were not going to allow the Jimmy Kimmel Show to be broadcast on their airwaves, and they wanted to have a discussion with ABC. ABC then says, okay, we're just going to pull it, which is the parent company is Disney. Yes, Disney, y'all. So yeah, if y'all want to boycott anything, boycott that big-eared mouse. Because they own
Talking
ABC.
about Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, yes,
Lord
that
have mercy.
Disney.
So now
That-
Disney, now
Disney.
all the Disney characters are all into this.
That Disney owns that network. Yes.
Wow. Someone already canceled Disney, Disney. Wow.
So
Mousetrap time.
But that's where the violation of free speech comes in, because the First Amendment only applies to the government. You don't have. I don't have a First Amendment right without consequence. That is, to call Zeus every name in the book and then some without consequence. Now, if those consequences, like if he says sticks and stones, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or if that consequence is punching me in the face, that's a consequence.
Yeah.
It may be wrong.
Every
but
action
it's
has
still
an
a
equal
consequence.
and opposite reaction. Newton's laws.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There are
So
unintended consequences. Yeah.
But what I need MAGA to understand, Zeus, is they are so stupid. Yes, I said it. I'm not being nice anymore. They are so stupid. They don't understand that when you have a government entity threatening private business because of speech, that is a violation of your First Amendment. Period.
They love this though. They love it as long as it's going after the radical left. That's their thing.
And not to mention that this a-hole, who is the FCC chair appointed by Donald Trump, has now said he's going to look at The View.
Oh, really? Going after
He said
he's
going to look at The View, because you know how much Donald hates them now.
Wow. He can't. Isn't he supposed to be like a strong person? Like, I don't get all this fragility that's going on in the MAGA space right now. These people branded themselves as tough. They branded themselves as tough. They can handle anything. And it's just like, y'all can't even handle your feelings getting hurt.
They are weak AF. They're weak. And I don't know if you heard this, Zeus. Overnight, the Orange Mussolini stated that he's going to look at pulling people's licenses.
I heard of it.
Meaning broadcast journalists, if they criticize him. You all, we are not headed to fascism. That is fascist. I need you all to understand that fascism is a far right ideology, not a far left ideology. So before I get out of here, Zeus,
good.
I appreciate you allowing me to use the Closet of Truth 2.0. Because it seemed fitting as to what I wanted to discuss and what I wanted to talk about. So, but moving forward, I'm gonna find my own name. I'm gonna find my own name, and I'm gonna start a new series.
Call it Antifa headquarters.
You know what? That's really gonna trigger them. But I'm gonna go back to my
because you know
that
they deemed the Antifa group a T group. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel a certain type of way about that? Because I know for sure you already know it. You got some of your haters on here screen recording your profile, and they're trying to make you out to be a bad guy. You know that, right? That's happening.
You know what, Zeus? I'm going to announce this on your show.
Okay.
Very proudly, I'm going to announce this.
Okay.
I am now, I have always been, and I will forever be Antifa.
Oh no! Oh, that you hear them booing that, Nutty? They're booing that. How do you feel?
Zeus.
I think I hear some sirens in the background too. I think they're calling 9. Where's he, Nutty? He's on Zeus's show. Come get him right now. How do you feel, Nutty? Aren't you shaking in your boots?
Zeus, I'm not gonna let no employer. I'm not gonna let no money. I'm not gonna let anyone tell me who I can or cannot support.
Nutty.
I'm going to be anti-fascist until the day I close my eyes to go meet my maker.
Be fascist and all your problems will go away. Worship Donald Trump and all of this will end.
Listen, I will never bow to any man, including the man that signs my paycheck. I will not bow to him. I will not bow to any man. And it's really weird. I'm going to use the rights language now. It's really weird to see white conservative men, or blaga, even for that matter, for blaga, to see them bowing to another man. When the only person you should be bowing to is your mama, because she gave you life. So because my mama gave me life, I will forever respect and bow to any woman that's on the right side of history.
You ain't gonna kiss his Converse. Remember that movie, Last Track?
Yeah, listen. There's a lot that I want to say, but I don't need to get the growls from you today, because I know Mama Zeus is listening.
Fair enough. Right.
I don't want to get the growls.
Okay.
But
yeah.
so I'm gonna go back to my teaching of 8th and 9th grade social studies and government class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have some poster boards. I'm gonna have these words on poster boards, and then we're gonna talk about them. I'm going to explain to you, because words matter. You guys keep getting on left-leaning creators, and y'all saying y'all don't want to be part of a communist, fascist. Y'all minds are really spiraling out of control, because you cannot be communist and fascist at the same time.
You really
Those
can't.
two ideologies do not mix.
Tell him, Nutty.
So Zeus, you keep doing what you're doing, brother.
You
keep
too.
doing what
Stay
you're
safe
doing
out there, all right? Because I'm
for
worried
sure.
about you. And I just want you to know, all this can end if you would just simply just say you're a fascist and worship Donald Trump, and all your problems will go away and your cup will runneth over. That's all you got to do. All right.
My last words in the kingdom for today. I am forever, always will be Antifa.
Oh, there you go.
Have a blessed day.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a man of his word. You got to give him a round of applause. He will not bend the knee at all. So that's a W, Nutty. I mean, I tried to get him to bend the knee. I did. I said, all you got to do is just say you're a fascist, and he wouldn't do it. All right. So, hey, what can we say? Let's go back to the audience. W. Zeus. Are there any Trump supporters out there that are brave enough to come on up here and try to defend their dear leader? Anybody out there? Anybody? Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, and you want to be heard this morning, and you got some real good information. I'm really looking for a Trump supporter that has good news about the economy. All right, because that's the main reason why I've been really upset lately. I look at my utility bill and I go, my gosh. This thing is going up. It's not cut in half. It's doubled. All right. And a lot of Americans are in this same situation. All right. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got next? Ooh, who do we got? My good friend, Jim. Welcome to the show. Hi, Jim. I haven't heard from you in a long time, but I hope you're doing all right.
I'm really sick.
Okay. We'll take it easy. All right.
No, I just had to come up and show you this, because this is what's so interesting that nobody's talking about. Can you put me on the big screen? Yeah. So Disney is already putting out that they're hopeful there's a path to bring Jimmy Kimmel back. Kimmel's contract is up at the end of the current season, taking him through May of 2026. Kimmel's getting paid regardless. Kimmel's getting paid through May of 2026. But Kimmel also is going to sue the ever-loving hell out of the United States government and out of its corporate headquarters. This idea that you can just fire somebody at will, you can, not when you have a contract, though.
Oh.
So this is the thing that nobody's talking about, is contractual law. And Jimmy Kimmel has a contract that they must pay him through. In addition to that, any person who is anti-Antifa makes you fascist. That's just a full stop. So we need to stop with this idea that the Trump administration has won anything. What they're doing is creating more and more chaos to make the American people quiet. And the worst thing that we can do as Americans is stand down. We need to stand up. We need to raise our voices. We need to encourage voters. We need to encourage our women and our children to learn everything. And the fact that Antifa just said that he's going to go back right now to teach U.S. government, that's where it's at. We need to continue teaching. We need to continue growing. But this is just a blip in the radar. We need to vote in numbers too big to be ignored. And we should never back down to cruelty and hate and racism and fear and misogyny. We should never back down to people starving children. We should never back down to people taking away medical sciences that saves the lives of all of our children. We are supposed to be progressing our nation forward. And when we stop progressing our nation forward, we regress into nothingness. It is time for all of us to unite as the United States of America, take this administration down in the midterms, and show them what real government for we the people is. We the people, for the people, all of the people within the borders of the United States of America. And until we do that, we are going to continue to be dictated to and harassed and administered absolute degradation to our country and our laws. We must uphold the oath to the Constitution, every single last one of us, veterans and citizens alike, because it is our country. Let me repeat, it is our country, not their country, our country. And we may not agree with everybody's lifestyle, but we must agree that we have a right to our lifestyles. We must agree that we have a right to vote how we feel is going to best suit us, but we should be voting for the collective good, not to harm others, but to build bridges and not build walls, to destroy the pain that's caused to American citizens and all of us within its borders. I am so tired. I am so sick of listening to lies and when are we going to take our nation back? When are we going to say that enough is enough, that you can believe what you want to believe, but if it's not based in fact, then you can no longer claim it to be fact. That used to be called slander. That used to be called liable. We have laws in this nation for a reason. And until we put that back into the office of the President of the United States, and we uphold the Emoluments Clause, and we uphold the Hatch Act, we cannot progress our nation forward. We are being held hostage, and there are more of us than there are of them. America, it is time for us to recognize that the best way to live this life is to live and let live, and to honor our nation with integrity and believing in truth and justice for the American people. And until we do that again, you are allowing a bully in the schoolyard to take your lunch. I, for one, am not only going to stand up for democracy, I am going to stand up against fascism every single day. And that, I guess, also makes me Antifa.
W. Jim, I'm going to give you the same offer I gave Nutty Jim. All you have to do is just say you're a fascist and worship Donald Trump, and all your problems will end. What do you say to that, Jim?
I will never back down to a schoolyard bully who literally is telling you exactly who he is, a weak little scared man who knows that this thing that he's created is crumbling right before him. That the hate and the degradation that they have tried to permeate onto the BIPOC community, the LGBTQIA community, the women of this country, you will be taken down and you will never get back up again. We will never allow. This is just one dark cloud, and the rain and the storm is coming, and we're going to share the rainbows like you will never believe. Rainbows that in the biblical promise, for those of you who claim to be Christian, was that I would never destroy the world again. That's what a rainbow represents for you Christians. And so the fact that you don't comprehend your own Bible is beyond comprehension to me. So paint your rainbows. And I'm just going to say one more thing. If you are not vaccinated, now's the time for you to get a physical and get vaccinated against flu, against COVID, against shingles, against pneumonia. This is not the time for you to sit idly by, because by next year, if this administration keeps doing the harm that it's doing, you may not have access to these medicines. And I am telling you, it is imperative that we stand up for our own health and we take care of ourselves and we listen to the doctors who literally believe in medical science with proven evidence and not some administration harming our people. We literally have a man with a worm in his brain running the health and human services of our nation. That should make every single one of you scared to death. He is not a doctor. He has fired all the career scientists. He is literally has political hacks doing the work that is harming our children and their future. This is setting the United States back many years. So for all of you who call yourself patriots, let me remind you, every other nation is progressing their science forward, and we're allowing hacks to set ours back in time. And they have access to medical care on our dime. Every one of them have access to full medical care on our dime.
Ain't that something, Jim? These folks are living in the lap of luxury, and they're nickeling and diming us every step of the way. One last question, because I know you've just laid it down. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Jim, I wanted to get your opinion about Caroline Levitt posted. What do you think about this? The economy is back on track under Donald Trump. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Do you subscribe, and do you believe that it's back on track or not, based on what you know?
Well, let me tell you, being sick, having to have things delivered, because I don't like to spread germs to the world.
Yeah.
So I stay home. I ordered a couple of things. I think it was 8 items from a local grocery store. It cost me $75. $75 for 8 items. I don't have that kind of money. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. And for, I have adult children in the house. We're all sick. Every one of us except my mom. Please knock on wood that she doesn't catch this. But
on the wood for you.
that we're all sick. So the fact is that this economy is worse than it's ever been, and it's going to get worse. And I'm telling you, wow. This isn't the end of it. What we're witnessing right now is just the beginning of the harm that they plan to cause this nation. This is a administration that only is thinking about enriching themselves, and this is the grift. And for five years, I have called him the predator and thief.
Yeah.
Every single step of the way, and I have been right 1,000%.
Nice.
They prey on other people, and they steal, and that's what they're doing. And I'm going to remind people, all those federal positions that they stopped, all those federal positions that they cut under Doge, where's your federal dollars going? They're not paying those people. They're stealing that money. So every penny that you pay into federal tax dollars for federal programs, federal things for the American people, they're keeping that money. So they're not paying wages to federal employees. They're not paying wages to the states to do Department of Education or healthcare or anything. They are stealing your federal tax dollars. So you better wake up, for all the Patricks and DJs and all of you that are posting hate in his comments every day.
Yeah.
You're under the same umbrella we all are. You're all impacted. So
Wow.
Yeah.
We're all impacted, and this is why we are doing this to get the word out here, because we can slow this down and perhaps stop it at midterms, right? If we get out there and actually do as you said, and vote these criminals out and replace them with folks we know will actually do their job and uphold the rule of law. All right, because we're getting ripped off. And like I said, the thing that's got me right now is the utility bill. It's doubled. It's not been cut in half. So I'm very angry about that, Jim. All right.
Well, yeah, and we're in California, so
Yeah.
we've always paid the highest amounts. And why? Because we also cover all the other states, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
So we pay the highest taxes. We also pay to make sure we have clean water, clean air. We pay for all that stuff because
True.
we believe in taking care of our state, which is why our state is a producer. It doesn't compete with other states. We compete with countries.
Yeah.
Because we care and we pay to be the highest state in the United States of America. What about Texas? Texas is a taker state.
Oh.
They take $73 billion away from the federal government every year. We contribute $84 billion. So this is the thing. Until America starts recognizing the red states are the takers and land doesn't vote, we the people vote. Take your country back. Convince people to come together. We don't have more than two parties. We have Republicans and we have Democrats.
Facts.
There are more Democrats than there are Republicans. And I'm going to say this because I got into a debate with somebody the other day. They were talking about if you change your voting to an independent, would that be better so that they can't harm you as a voter? No, that's what they want you to do. Because if you don't vote as a Democrat or a Republican, or register as a Democrat or a Republican, you don't have a say in your primary. So if you in 28 million voters who changed their votes to independent, sorry to remind you, we only have 2 parties. So if you are changing your vote thinking you're doing something special because you want to talk about the wings of the bird and all that stupid crap they've tried to convince you, you're wrong. Vote Democrat, register Democrat, vote Democrat, show them what you're made of. And then once we take this nation back, start a grassroots movement to create a third party that's also going to benefit the nation. Stop fooling yourself that somehow by changing your registration as an independent voter, which nobody even knows what the hell it means when you ask them when they do it, it doesn't mean you're independent.
It felt right. It feels right? Because both parties, they're letting us down. And I've lost faith in both parties, right? That's why I did that. I didn't say I did it, but that's what I would imagine they're saying, right?
That is what they say, but they don't actually look at the voting records of who's actually serving their states. They don't look at the voter records of the federal government. They don't see who's actually passing the laws for the betterment of our society, who's protecting civil rights and human rights and women's rights and educational rights in this country. Guess what? I can tell you who it's not. It's not the Republican Party. It's not.
And so, hello. She's right.
So for all of you who are out there who are claiming to be progressive, who are claiming to be liberal, who are claiming to be far leftist, now's the time for you to believe in the Democratic Party, because if you want to progress your nation forward, you have to vote with the people who are putting laws into practice, like the PACT Act, like the Chips and Sciences Act, like the infrastructure bill. That was a president and an administration voting bipartisan to progress the nation forward. And if you can't see that, then you're harming yourselves. That's what I want you to understand, that it is imperative, and you don't have to believe me, research it yourself. 28 million people lost their voice in primaries to get the political party where we needed it to be to progress the nation forward. So make sure that you are doing your due diligence, register as a Democrat, vote blue up and down the ticket, research who you're voting for, and take the party back and start your grassroots movement at your local levels of school districts, counties. What is it called in Louisiana? What do they call the little cities in Louisiana? They've got a different name for cities.
Oh, really?
Parishes, right? Parishes. They call them parishes in Louisiana. Whatever that is.
Hit them with it.
Yes, that's where you want to start your grassroots movement. And in 4 years from there, if you have the ability to create a third party that's going to have some voice and some vote, that's when it happens. But until we have that, we have 2 parties, people. We have 2. It's time for us to come together, vote to progress the nation forward. Clean air, clean water, education, a belief in science and math. Take care of our children. I love you all. Peace out. Get vaccinated.
All right, W. Jim. No lies detected. She's not playing any games with y'all. Thank you so much, Jim. Appreciate you. You don't get that level of honesty and transparency just by being a Rudy poop. You can tell Jim really does her research, and I value all the knowledge and insight you do bring to the platform, Jim. We really, really do need it. Yes, and please feel better. All right, let's move it along. Put a one in any Trump voters out there. Anybody? I saw Ray out there, but I want somebody else besides Ray, because I already debunked Ray, and Ray just needs to sit his special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. But do we have any Trump voters out there that want to get up here and try to defend their dear leader? Please put a one in the chat. I'll bring you right on up. All right, put a one in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up. All right, Ray, sit down and listen. All right. There you go. There's Ray. Come on up here. Ray don't want to listen. All right, moving along. All right. Where's Katie? Katie Corey. Yeah, where is Katie? They don't have the ability or the strength to come on up here and honestly try to speak on what they know. Let's see, who do we got, ladies and gentlemen? Who's this? Willie Jeff. Good morning. Good morning, Willie Jeff. Have I heard from you before? Are you a Trump supporter? What's going on? Good morning. Going once. Willie Jeff. I think you're having connectivity. You're having connectivity issues, Willie Jeff. All right, move it along. Has anyone seen our good friend MAGA Queen? MAGA Queen, I haven't heard from you in a while. Is everything okay? You know, I posted a video of you yesterday and it didn't look so well. Good morning, Wakanda. How are you doing, sis?
I'm good, Zeus. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, especially now that I get to hear from you and check in with you. Everything okay?
Everything is good.
Nice.
You know, we in the same state now. I'm in Cali now.
No! Congratulations. What brings you to the great state of California? Because, you know, I've heard so many people say it's a failed state and Governor Gavin Newsom is not doing so well, but you came to California, right?
Yes, I packed up my apartment, and last month, on the 18th, I got in my car and with my moving vehicle, and I arrived on the 20th. And
let's go. Are you NorCal or SoCal?
SoCal.
So wow.
SoCal.
Wow.
SoCal. Yeah.
And you left a red state.
Yes, the horrible. Well, my parents are still there, so I can't really say the horrible state of Arkansas.
Oh.
But other than my parents being there, yeah, it was terrible.
Okay.
It was terrible.
So what have you noticed since you've been in the area, in the SoCal area, about California that's pretty unique about it compared to what you were dealing with in Arkansas? I agree, all states, they have something to offer, but I'm trying to shatter this narrative that folks have about the state of California.
Well, for one thing, I noticed the air is really clean, and it's not foggy and all jacked up. They say a lot of stuff about California, but since I've been here, I'm not seeing all the stuff that they talking about. It's real peaceful, it's quiet, and for the most part, people are nice. It's nice when I wake up in the morning and I'm looking at the mountains and stuff, and it's really peaceful here. I don't feel the tension. And I don't feel the hate that I felt in Arkansas. Like I would get out, I would get ready to go to work, and I would feel this like dread.
Yeah.
Because I knew when I stepped outside, I had to step out into a world where I have to deal with racists on a daily basis. And so I don't feel that way here.
You mind your own business. Nobody in your business, huh? You go from point A to B. You got so many options. Did you? What about the food and stuff like that? You got a lot of choices, don't you?
Yeah, there is. And I've had...
Tell them, because they don't believe this stuff. Look at California's national debt.
So check this out, Zeus. So when I got here, I'm staying with my god brother.
Yeah.
And we ordered ramen for when I first got here, and I had never had authentic ramen.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So we ordered
You had top ramen before, right? I thought that was real ramen too.
Out of the store, yeah.
Yeah.
But we had the real stuff, and it was good. And I'm gonna tell you something else, Zeus, and I can't even believe I'm finna say this.
Go ahead.
They ordered pizza last night. No, the night before last, and it had pineapple on it, Zeus.
Yeah.
And they had the meat and all that stuff, and I was freaking out because I really don't do pineapple on my pizza.
Yeah.
But I took a slice.
Oh.
It wasn't that bad, Zeus.
Hey.
It wasn't that bad, Zeus.
Ain't that so funny? Ain't that so funny how you could be living in a state that could totally give you the wrong impression about one of the best states in the union? And you're coming out of your bubble now, you're seeing things, and you're going, I get it now. I get it. And you haven't even done the whole issue. I mean, because there's getting into the
I haven't
Tahoe.
had the sushi yet. So that's probably the next thing on the list. But here's what I came up here to say.
Wow.
Zeus.
Yeah.
And here's what I came up here to say, because I was this whole thing we've been talking about Jimmy Kimmel, and I'm gonna ask you before I start. Did we talk about the Next Star Project 2025 connection?
No.
Has anybody talked about
no one
that?
brought that up. No one brought that up. But
Okay.
you can go ahead and bring that up.
All right, because this whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel has been really aggravating me. It really has. And so what I did was I started trying to research and see exactly what we're dealing with here, because everybody was like, "Well, we need to boycott Disney, and we need to do this, and we need to do that." But let's get specific, okay? Let's get specific. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up because I started looking, and what I realized, Zeus, is there's a connection. Can you put me in the big box?
You so do. You see, I got you there, structured.
Okay, so Brendan Carr.
Brendan Carr, yes.
Brendan Carr. Everybody know who Brendan Carr is? If you don't know who he is, it's time for us to look into this. Brendan Carr is the head of the FCC. What he also is he was in charge of the section about the FCC, contributed to the Project 2025.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So how to deal with the media, media influence, and how that works, and all that he put into Project 2025.
Wow.
Okay. Now, so since he was over the FCC, right?
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, so he's over the FCC. He's connected to Project 2025. He's also, which makes him absolutely connected to the Heritage Foundation. He's connected to Donald Trump.
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened behind the scenes, y'all? And I want y'all to listen to this because it's very important. Nexstar is one of the other companies that works with Disney, right?
Right.
So I looked into Nexstar, and look, guess what I found out, y'all? Hold on. Nexstar has a merger deal, right? Next year, 2026, they're supposed to be merging with Tegna, which is another media company. It will make them one of the biggest media companies in television and TV stations in the United States.
Sick.
Okay?
They want a monopoly.
Now, in order to get that merger approved, they have to go through the FCC. The FCC has the final say on whether they will approve that merger.
Right.
So what did they do? They're holding the merger hostage. Brendan Carr is holding the merger, and the value of the merger is $6.2 billion.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
$6.2 billion. And because of that, and Brendan Carr holding it hostage and saying, well, if you guys want this merger, you're going to have to silence Jimmy Kimmel.
Wow.
That's what we're dealing with, Zeus.
Wow. Wow. Behind
So it's
the
not
scenes
necessarily
power plays. Yeah.
Right. So it's not just necessarily Disney that we need to be mad at. Yes, they bear some of the brunt, but the main people are the ones that are wheeling and dealing behind the scenes with the big money.
DJ, she already just proved it, DJ. See, DJ, the burden is now on you. Prove that it's not true. While we're sitting out here suffering and you're seeing people get let go because of what's going on in the government right now. I totally, I believe it.
And here's the thing, you know what? And I sat down and I was thinking, Zeus, we have in Congress, they had a moment of silence for a Yahtzee at the Capitol for CK. They had a moment of silence for a Yahtzee, but we lost 2 Black Americans who they gave rope necklaces and nobody said a word. We have children who were unalived in a school pew-pewing, and I didn't see the flag lowered to half mast for those kids.
I didn't either.
Or those 2 Black men who lost their lives senselessly.
Yeah, speak on it.
So, but we got MAGA running around here talking about, I am Charlie Kirk.
I thought about that, Wakanda, and I said, what would God say to these so-called Christians if they was out here calling themselves Charlie Kirk in front of God? What do you think the good Lord would say to these folks?
Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. I never knew you.
Yeah, I
Because
wouldn't go that far for nobody. Listen, I love a
right,
lot of people, but listen, you come on now.
and you got and you vomit up. He vomited up hate every time he opened his mouth and thought he was going to get love in return. How does that, the math on that doesn't work for me. It shouldn't work like that for anybody.
You know,
No,
do they act this way when folks talk about Jesus?
no, they don't get that upset like that.
People talk about Jesus all the time. You never seen them act like this. Never.
No,
And I go, well,
absolutely not.
how we acting this way over another man, but you ain't acting like
Exactly.
that when it comes to the Son of God.
Right. But you know what I'm gonna do, Zeus?
What's that?
And I'm gonna chalk this up to Dano because he said it the other day, and I think it's appropriate. Every time I hear somebody say I am Charlie Kirk, since they took one of ours, off the air, I'm gonna say I am Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh.
I think that's what we need to do. We need to promote that hashtag every time they go up because see, it was unjustified. What they did, Jimmy Kimmel, what came out of his mouth was not incorrect. They just didn't want to hear the truth. They painted him into a corner. And you know what? If they if this is the pathway they're going to take, and they're going to start trying to take us down for the truth that we speak, we have to fight back.
Right.
Absolutely have to fight back.
Yeah.
But anyway, Zeus, that's what I came up with to say. I want to clear the air. So when we're pointing our fingers, y'all, and trying to get this stuff straightened out, remember, it's not just Disney. It's follow the money. We always talk about that saying is always used. We need to follow where the money's going so we know exactly what's going on behind the scenes.
I agree. And we're going to follow it. And again, Wakanda, as always, my sister, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, because you brought up information that folks need to use and let it marinate and sit in their souls for a minute. All right. And then on top of that, you made it to this great state of California. I just want to say thank you again. All right.
All right. I'll see you guys. Have a good day.
All right. You too, ladies and gentlemen. W Wakanda. It wouldn't be a Friday, a week without hearing from DJ. DJ, yes, what do you got for me?
Hey Zeus, how you feeling?
Same way I always feel. Thanks for asking how I feel. But is there anything? What brings you hither all week long? No, nothing from you. Today's Friday. I was trying to end the week on a high note, and I will.
I'll be brief, man. I'll be brief. I know you're probably trying to get out of there, and I just caught the last 15 or 20 minutes, something like that. But all the information that she was giving was well known. It wasn't like it was, information that was hidden that you had to go find somewhere. Jimmy Kimmel lost his job because he chose to go on the air at his job and air that his opinion that was a false opinion, and he lost his job.
You didn't. I didn't want you to say that because I thought about it, and I've played the clip over. Actually, let's play the clip. I'll play the clip for us so that we all can hear what Jimmy Kimmel said. And I said, "Why is this offensive?" But then I realized, I see why it's offensive, and I'll explain. Let's listen to what he said real quick. I understand what happened.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize
that part. Did you catch that?
No, say it again, please.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize.
You hear that? What did he say? He said the MAGA gang. I never thought of them as a gang, but in the spirit of the cover-up that's happening out there,
play the rest of it.
No. But the rest of it. Let's talk about the gang, MAGA gang. I didn't know it was a gang. But I got it. I said, because I don't believe what Cash Patel is saying in terms of who they say the suspect is. When you're telling me the father was a Trumper or in the MAGA gang. You get what I'm saying? Wink, wink, DJ. He's blowing the lid off. I'll play the rest of it for you. I'll play the rest of it. I'll play it
over the weekend.
You don't believe the text that they got. You don't believe the fact that his roommate was a trans person, and
no.
So you don't.
I'll tell you how I know the roommate wasn't a trans person, because they said the transition hadn't completed, right?
Okay.
So that most likely would mean he's in a relationship with another man, right? So why not just say it
What's your
that way?
point, Zeus?
Why?
Are you saying that he wasn't transitioning? Is that what you're saying?
First of all, I don't know what party the roommate voted for. Number one, right? That's not
sure what
being
difference that makes,
that's
but
not
go
being
ahead.
provided. And then they're saying that the son was in a relationship with another man, all right, and another man was in the process of transitioning. I get all of that, but I'm going, well, you're only throwing that in to fit the narrative. If I really wanted to roll the dice, what was he? He probably was just dating another guy. He lived with another guy. That's probably where my mind is at until I see evidence. I could be wrong though, DJ. The other thing is, what happened to the note that was under the keyboard? All right, I never heard anything. I never saw the note. I think the note's been destroyed. They say I don't know. And then the text messages, there's no timestamps or anything like that, right? So when you got all of that, and you got a lot of people on the right actually saying this doesn't look right, even Steve Bannon, right? And I don't agree with Steve Bannon, but for him to even be questioning this, I go, okay, clearly the FBI can't be trusted in this, right? That's where I'm at. And then you layer that with what Jimmy Kimmel said when he said...
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving on Friday. So
I could imagine Cash Patel, Donald Trump, they listened to that and they said, who told Jimmy Kimmel MAGA was a gang? We can't have that floating around out there.
Are you serious, man? That's hilarious. That's hilarious that you would even use that analogy and try to use that as some kind of evidence or gotcha. That's just amazing to me.
Did you hear the story today about what another person in the MAGA gang did? Did you hear this story? I played it at the top of the show.
I've been working all morning. So
listen to this show. Listen to what one of these MAGA gang members have done.
Terroristic threats as a hate crime charge in Texas and brought him here to Queens to go before
the New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani.
Police arrested Jeremy Fistel in Texas and brought him here to Queens to go before a judge. The repeated threatening calls caused law enforcement to increase security for the Democrat.
Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager live in Kew Gardens, Queens, with what we know at this hour. Stacey?
Well, Mike, this is a 22-count indictment, and we want to warn you the details.
So this is here he is right here. Let me, because visuals help. You know who this guy is? His name is Jeremy Fistel, 44, arrested in Plano, Texas. All right, and you know what he was doing? Allegedly making unaliving threats towards Zohran Mamdani. Do you know who Zohran Mamdani is?
Yeah, he's the current Democratic candidate for mayor in New York City.
Yeah, so this guy right here, and doesn't he look suspicious?
I mean,
he fits the description. He fits the description, right?
Which description is that, Zeus?
Gangs, MAGA gang.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Am I making DJ?
That is so weak, man. That's not even dishwater. That's so weak,
DJ,
man. That's just...
I get it. I let the air out of your campaign, huh? It's hard for you to look at this guy and say he's a gang member.
You didn't do anything. I came up here basically to say that Jimmy Kimmel...
DJ, let me play to you what they said. Listen to what they said.
The language of it are pretty ugly. 4 of these counts involve a felony charge, making terroristic threats as a hate crime. All of this set against the backdrop of escalating political rhetoric in our country and a heated mayoral race. He walked out of court with his attorney today, facing a host of cameras and reporters.
Anything you want to say?
But he said nothing. 44-year-old Jeremy Fistel of Plano, Texas, shaking his head in the courtroom at times as Queens prosecutor Christina Mavrikas laid out the case. She also read a series of horrific messages Fistel allegedly left for mayoral frontrunner Zohran Mamdani. It was back in June at the Assemblyman's Astoria office, and the messages are chilling. This is only a sample.
Hey Zohran, you should go back to Uganda before someone shoots you in the head and gets rid of your whole family too. Muslims don't belong here. Go on and start your car. See what happens. Yeah, and keep an eye on your house and your family. Nobody wants your terrorist ways here. And check your beeper too. Terrorist. Beep beep.
Fistel's.
You heard that, DJ? So,
hey, if that's what he did, he should be prosecuted.
No.
I hope they lock him up.
And I appreciate you honestly saying that. So will you understand now why I say it is a gang now? And I mean, it came from a comedian, and I get it. Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian, and it's to be funny. But the reaction to him saying that, it didn't make any sense to me. I don't think they should have went this far for him to say that. But I think they inadvertently let me know what the real issue was. And I went back and I listened to this thing. And at first I was like, nothing. He didn't say anything. But then I said, what part of this made Donald Trump and them upset? And I said, it's the MAGA gang part. They don't want people to think of MAGA as a gang.
Gotcha. Okay.
But when you look at all the evidence, right? A majority, I think they say up to 65% of the crimes, the hate crime, is committed by folks on the right. Like, I'm not going to sit here.
What crime?
Hate crimes. And I'm not going to sit up here and try to say, I'm not going to, because see, DJ, I understand human beings in general are violent creatures, right? I get that. So I would never go as far as to say it only comes from the right. I get that. But what I can confidently say is, based on empirical evidence, a good deal of it, a good chunk of it does come from the right. And it's organized. It's organized. All right. You got a lot of different fractions within the right that believe in using political violence as a way to intimidate people. And
I'm not going to argue that point. I'm not going to argue that.
So, thank you.
But would you agree that there's also political operatives on the left that do the same thing? Would you agree?
But the ratio's not the same. It's not the same. Okay. Remember, the narrative the right would like you to believe about the left is weak, right? This is what the right says we are. We're weak. We want to take away your pews, right? You know, we're easy. So I'm going, well, how are these people that you believe are genuinely less intelligent than you and weaker than you? How are you processing them to be the threat? But then we look at the evidence, DJ, and I see these people are organized on the right. They got access to pews. They walk around and say things like, white men fight back. All right. I've seen this stuff. I mean, I know some of
both sides, Bruce. Don't act like it's just one side.
No. But the gang part, MAGA is a gang. And this is why.
If that's your opinion, that's cool. If that's your opinion, that's fine.
So you don't subscribe to perhaps that could be true? Considering the amount of violence? Considering the violence? You don't see the violence?
There's been violence on both sides, okay? And again...
Okay, the left has gangs then. Then that means the left has gangs too. That means the left has gangs. Okay, fair enough. But can we admit the right got a lot more gangs? You see, you don't want to do that.
I don't have a count for you, Zeus.
You don't want to acknowledge...
Why would I come up here and argue with you about something like that? When we both know that both sides threaten and both sides have organizations, both sides are one side is no better than the other. Should anybody lose their job for posting their political opinion? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They should not. But when you do it in the middle of your job, I'm pretty sure if I go into my office and I stand up and spout my political beliefs or state this or that or the other, which has nothing to do with whatever we're doing at work that day, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to pull me aside and say, that crap needs to stop. And most people that are listening on this live probably have the same situation. Jimmy Kimmel was in a position to where he didn't need to go in there and make that comment, but he felt the need to do it. And he paid the consequence. Free speech is free speech. He absolutely has the right to do it, but there's consequences that come with it. And those are the consequences, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's
why
I
think he should have lost his job? No, I do not.
Okay,
I don't agree.
So what do you say then if you don't think he should have lost his job? And I actually, if you want to say there's consequences, I'll say this: it's an unwritten rule. If you say things, you have to understand. Some people, whether the law says you could do it or not, they might react to it. So you should always keep that in mind when you speak. I agree with you on that, right? And, you know, there are things that could happen and they got to get adjudicated. I totally agree with you. But in the spirit of you saying that he shouldn't have lost his job, the fact that he has lost it, what does that mean to you? What does that say that he has lost it mean?
I think that there's absolutely politics involved in it. And the young lady that was
on the wrong
up
path.
earlier I didn't see the whole presentation where she was talking about the sale. You know, there's absolutely money tied into that. There's no question. But Jimmy Kimmel goes on live television and basically And again, did I get offended by that statement? I'm not. No, it doesn't offend me at all. I've been listening to Jimmy Kimmel for years. Okay. I mean, that's a mild statement compared to other things that he said. Now, obviously, it's a very sensitive time right now with what's going on with Charlie Kirk. Okay. So more people are more sensitive about Charlie Kirk, myself included, than just the average everyday thing, because it's just still unbelievable what happened. However, okay, I mean, I think he knew by making that statement that he was going to piss off a certain number of people, and that his show makes money by drawing viewers. Would you agree with that? And advertising dollars.
That's how show business works. Yeah, but
yep, absolutely.
So, but DJ, I would feel like, you know what, you should be able to say, the Trump administration is engaging in authoritarian behavior and conduct, and I can't continue to support this guy, even though I don't like Jimmy Kimmel, right? The right thing that you should say is, I just can't go this far with Donald Trump and his regime, and I don't want to be labeled a gangster in the MAGA gang. This is where we're at right now, because sooner or later, all of this stuff that's happening eventually will happen to you. And I played a clip earlier of Trump supporter, two of them, law enforcement, and they got fired from their jobs because of what they did on January 6th. They posted stuff on social media, and their employers fired them, right? And MAGA won't acknowledge that should have happened on this side. Yeah, when Biden did it, they were crying. Oh, Biden shouldn't be able to do this and that, So now now Trump is in office, and y'all are doing this. I just want you to know, what goes around, honestly, is going to come around. There's going to be a moment in American history, because this thing is only going to happen while Trump is president. But just imagine Jasmine Crockett. Imagine AOC or Jasmine Crockett become president, and they unleashed, because you said the left has gangs and stuff like that, and they allow the left gang to do all of this stuff to you. And then you came to me, and I was like, well, DJ, there's no problem with them just taking away your rights. It's perfectly fine. You would look at me like I'm crazy.
Are you saying that these things didn't happen under Biden, Zeus?
No, they didn't. Because Jimmy Kimmel wasn't breaking the law.
Tucker Carlson? Do you remember Tucker Carlson?
What about Tucker Carlson?
Losing his job.
Why do you think he lost his job?
Again,
why? Because of what happened, his conduct. He actually broke. He was part of that whole Fox News and Smartmatic thing.
You don't remember the whole cancel culture that happened under Joe Biden? You're not remembering this at all?
No. What I remember is Fox News was a part of Fox News was spreading the election lie, right? Remember that?
And do you remember the
wait? Was Fox News
CEO of Facebook testifying in front of Congress that he was pressured to censor?
And we've debunked that. He only did that so Trump would drop one of these little lawsuits. He's not doing that out of genuine concern. I've debunked that. Yeah, he's just doing that to curry favor from the Trump administration. We already did debunk that. So DJ, you tried and you lied.
I just want to make sure I understand. You're saying the Facebook suppression of information didn't happen? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say all of that. I just said that what Zuckerberg did, obviously he did that in the spirit of trying to get Donald Trump to give him a favor with another lawsuit he had. I think it was around $25 million that he eventually settled. He was genuinely not concerned about all of that. I can't speak for what Zuckerberg did, but I will say there was a lot of misinformation, disinformation coming out about C-19. All right, and that needed to be addressed. All right, because it was a national security matter. All right, but when it was happening, Donald Trump was actually the president, not Joe Biden. So if there's anything like that had happened, he would have to blame Donald Trump. Number one. Then number two, here's the thing: Fox News actively spread the election lie about the results of the 2020 election, which resulted in over 1,600 people being, prosecuted, and possibly I could link it, but I will. Ashley Babbitt, I'm pretty sure she was radicalized by Fox News over the lies, right? So it's not the same. It's not the same. January 6th was actually a crime. There were crimes involved. Jimmy Kimmel simply labeling MAGA a gang? No, not the same thing, DJ. All right?
The murder of Charlie Kirk was a crime as well.
Yeah, but the narrative out there that we're challenging that's the issue, and that's not a crime to challenge the narrative.
Why is the left working so hard, Zeus, to say that the killer of, the unaliver of Charlie Kirk was either on the left or the right. Why do you care?
Because initially when it happened, I said, and I put a video out, the violence needs to stop. We all need to come to our senses and try to get along. It wasn't even before I made it to bed. I was already being attacked. All right. I had people telling me it was my lives that made this possible, that made this happen.
Well, that's obviously ridiculous.
No,
but
DJ,
ridiculous.
You asked a question. A lot of us had targets placed on our back as a result of the president of the United States. And so when you,
I was in your live last Friday when Shay came on and they announced that they had the suspect, and Shay came in to tell that he was from a conservative background and he lived in, an upper middle class family, and it was like, like you had discovered that it was somebody from the right. Did that not happen?
We did find out he has ties to the right. Right? His dad is a MAGA, according to the information that came out, right? His dad taught him. His dad taught him.
Jay came in and announced it in your live. Like it was breaking news.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go ahead.
Is his father, from what you understand, a MAGA?
I don't know if he's MAGA or not. I mean,
based on
your
what
definition
you know
of MAGA and a Republican.
So,
is there any difference between a Republican and a MAGA, Zeus?
Real Republicans and MAGA, correct. There is. I would say what I see Thomas Massey doing, trying to get us those Epstein files. I would say he's more inclined to be on the Republican side. But I've also heard Donald Trump attack Republicans. So those folks aren't the same as MAGA, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But when you start allowing Donald Trump to manipulate you from being a Republican and do MAGA deeds, then you might end up, in my opinion, being labeled MAGA. All right. So it's a tricky thing. And that's why I say we got to look at it like it's a gang. MAGA is a gang. They go around here, they put on masks. You know the uniform, right? Look at the hat. I mean, what do gangs do? They wear their wardrobes. Right?
Wow. Okay. No, it's not right, Zeus. You know what? I'm not going to get into it.
Just give it some thought, DJ. Just give it some thought.
Yeah, and I will give it some thought, okay? I've said many times on your live that the things that I
they wear red. They wear red. They put Trump in the background. MAGA, 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 MAGA. Where you from? I'm not from the country. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. We gonna do you a number on you. This is MAGA. They're a king.
Okay.
They're in the government right now, wearing masks. They're wearing masks, hopping out. They're wearing masks. Listen, DJ, they're wearing masks, hopping out of the car, doing ride-bys, drive-bys. I mean, you can't see it, bro.
Can you give me an example recently of that happening? Can you give me
there's a video right now. They just posted it on ISIS website, on Homeland Security X. Go look at it. They got a music video. ISIS making music videos now, advertising the gang life. Seriously. DJ, the more you dig yourself into this ditch, the more it gets worse.
I'm not digging myself into any ditch.
Yeah.
Dude.
So go watch the Homeland Security video ICE just posted and watch. They land in Chicago. They got a nice little rap beat with the 808s coming. ICE standing up there with their weapons, badges. They get the camera angle zooming. They got the mask on. They coming through Chicago, and then they get to the house. Boom! The whole door blows off. Or Nice goes in there, the music's all playing. They're advertising. They want you to join the gang, right? They say you could join and get $50,000 to be a part of our gang. And they go in there and they grab somebody and just drag them out of the house. This is happening, bro. I see.
I'm sure it was an innocent person that they dragged out too. You left that part out. I'm sure it was an innocent American citizen that they dragged out.
Fair enough. Oh, look at that. You're getting a call from your gang leader. All right, DJ.
Yeah,
what I'll do is this.
Telling me, why are you putting up with this? There's nothing I'm going to do.
Your gang leader's calling you, DJ. You better take that before they come and get you.
To change your mind. The main reason I came up here was to talk about the fact that Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. You came where?
Again. The information about Charlie Kirk and Jimmy Kimmel losing his job. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Kimmel lost his job because he was arrogant. Period. End of story. Mm-hmm. He thought he was untouchable. Well, guess what? He found out he wasn't.
Oh, see, that's where you went wrong, DJ. And unfortunately, judgment has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, that's DJ. DJ, you're going to jump in yourself, or you want me to do it? Oh, his gang leader got some. Okay, tell your gang leader I got DJ Zeus took care of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send DJ where he came from. Straight to hell! Zeus. DJ found out today that we found out we know he's in a gang and he didn't like that. But DJ, just give it some thought, bro. Seriously. It'll make you feel better, all right? Moving it along. Oh, my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, all right. I got to move it. Oh, my God. What a show. Good morning, Val. How are you?
How's it going?
Oh, I'm all right. Wow. Right? Wow.
Wow. Okay, let's go here. Really wanted to come up after Jim, like anybody wanted to really follow that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, DJ. We don't know anything about really. Go look this up, DJ. Try to find his name, his actual name of the person that's supposed to be the roommate. Please look that up for me. Okay? Because what you're going to find out is there's a couple names out there, but none of them line up. And nobody really knows who this person is. And it's being suppressed and hidden from us right now. I wonder why. That would be my first question. 2, DJ, on the text messages, let's talk about that a minute. I want to find 2 20-year-olds that write in perfect sentences and in perfect punctuation in every sentence all the way across the board. I'm still looking for that 22-year-old. Tell me who that is, please. And then, DJ, Jimmy Kimmel should be a concern for every American person in this country. What's happening there is one of the largest overreaches of government I've seen in my lifetime. When you have the FCC using a merger to try to get somebody thrown off the air.
Yeah.
That is government overreach, sir, and against the First Amendment. Because they don't like what they say. It doesn't get any clearer. And, Wakanda brought it up earlier, and so did, you know what I'm saying, and so did Jim.
Yeah.
This man is part of Project 2025. Specifically the part about the FCC.
Yeah.
When we say 60% of his cabinet came from the Heritage Foundation, that is not a lie. It's an actual fact. And DJ, it was you that set up in these lives.
He did.
Okay, and said, I don't think Donald Trump has anything to do with Project 2025. Your words, sir. Your words.
He did. I remember it. He said that.
I don't think. DJ, do you still not think that President Donald J. Trump doesn't have anything to do with Project 2025 with 60% of his cabinet from the Heritage Foundation? The guy that actually wrote the part about the FCC making a decision about Jimmy Kimmel? Wanting to go after The View? Wanting to go after people because of their speech? It doesn't get any clearer, DJ, with government overreach at all. Does not. As much as I disliked Charlie Kirk, there's one thing that he said is correct.
What's that?
He had the right to say the things he had to say based on our First Amendment of this country.
Bingo.
I don't like the man, but that was actually correct. These are the things, DJ, that you need to understand. You can sit there and make excuses all day, but in the end, all these excuses and all these cover-up questions that you're going after are just going to dig you in a deeper hole. You're going to end up in a place you don't want to be. That is how this works, DJ. I don't know why people continue to want to go down this line with this man.
Yeah.
We talked about jobs earlier. You talked about the economy. These are important things.
Yeah.
Okay? DJ, anybody that sets up there and makes the claims that he did in that interview that Zeus played earlier.
Yeah.
Makes the claims of manufacturing coming back to this country. Makes all the claims that he has. Makes the claims on manufacturing jobs and all these things. When everybody in this country right now that actually lives a daily life and gets out and meets other people knows none of that is true. Knows that the job market is actually failing right now.
Yeah.
Knows that inflation's going up. These are the things, DJ, that absolutely drive us nuts. We had one president that had no control over what the inflation was going to be, and y'all want to use that against him every day.
Yeah.
No control.
Yeah.
Global inflation didn't affect just the U.S. It was global. Okay? Due to supply chain issues. Nobody, I don't care how you try to spin that. I don't care how you say printing dollars caused it. No, it didn't. This was a global supply chain issue.
Yep.
And that's what Joe Biden walked into. He got an economy that every metric was going the right direction. The stock market was going the right direction. GDP was going the right direction. Job growth was going the right direction.
Hit him with it.
Okay, manufacturing growth was going the right direction.
Hit him with it. Patrick, it wasn't Joe Biden's fault.
But every time a Republican takes office, not just Trump, but Trump's been the worst at it, they have absolutely flattened those economies out. Because y'all believe that giving the rich money is somehow going to trickle down to the middle class and the poor in this country. And it never has.
Nope.
It's just more money for the rich to play with in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the stock market right now, the reason it is up is because of stock buybacks. It's not individual investment.
Nope.
Okay? It is stock buybacks. These people are moving money around so fast that the stock market can't yet catch up to the economy. That's what we always say. The stock market's never a good indicator of the economy. But every aspect of our economy was moving the right direction. Grocery prices were going down. Gas was coming down. Slowly but surely was coming down. It was never going to get to some $2 miracle number that you want to think of. Because if gas does get down to $2, DJ, or anybody else out there on the Republican side, if gas gets that low, it's because our job market is absolutely failed.
Hit him with it, Val.
These are the things y'all don't understand. Everything is a balance. And right now, that balance is being destroyed.
Thank you. Hit him with it, Val. Val. Well, you synthesized the message in very short and concise ways, brother. And I appreciate you, but you know Big Zeus has to get up out
I know.
here.
It's your time. One last thing.
Go ahead, hit him with it.
For every Democrat out there, and this is a message to the Democrats, be careful about what you read. Be careful about what you put out there. Be careful about who you watch on social media. And I don't care who it is. Please pick up the computer, find news articles, and check the stories. Okay? Actually check these stories.
This is important.
And the reason I say that is someone, I'm not going to name anybody, but someone came up earlier and talked about how Trump was winning with lawsuits. Trump has not won a single lawsuit in defamation in 2025. Not one.
Really?
Not a single one. Matter of fact, he's lost a few.
I know that the Eugene Carroll didn't pan out the way, but I thought maybe they were also talking about some of the decisions of the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court wasn't about defamation.
True. So that's the part.
Yeah. Wasn't about defamation. Defamation lawsuits, and I want to those equate to like Melania Trump saying she was going to sue Hunter Biden.
Right.
That case never got filed. Wonder why.
Huh.
He just filed, Trump filed a $15 million lawsuit against New York that every legal expert, there's not any that are going another way, say this case has zero foundation.
That's a good point. Yeah.
These are the things that people need to pay attention to, because we don't need to help this along. We don't need to spread misinformation to help the situation along.
And that goes to the larger issue, stuff that we do find, because this happened a couple of times, and I take responsibility. Sometimes we get so excited. We saw a TikTok video, Facebook video, and we think that this might be true, but it doesn't hurt to go and double check it and make sure.
And I've seen it from some of the largest creators on here, right?
Yeah.
It's not just smaller creators like me. I've seen it from large creators, extremely large creators. Parnas has put stories out that turned out not to be true. These are the things that we've got to actually pay attention to. It's important that we do our due diligence on the left, just like we would for the right.
True. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Val a huge round of applause. Big Zeus has to go. Thank you, Val.
Alrighty.
Later. Alrighty then. All right. I know what I was going to do. I do know what I was going to do. I knew I was going to do. I thought I was going to do this. All right. I thought I was going to do something real quick, but it may or may not happen. All right. My sister Takesha. We have to address this, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Takesha. How are you?
I wanted to tell you, Zeus, I can't. I
Okay.
had my skit ready and everything, but the Lord said no.
Okay.
And
Fair.
I can't do it, Zeus.
Okay. All right. You can't. You don't got any words for
Man,
that.
I wanted to get her so bad, man, but the Lord said no.
Okay.
See, yesterday you should have pulled me up when I was ready. But when I went to sleep and I said, I'm gonna get me a wig, a long cigarette, and some shades, because that's how I imagine how she looked. And I was gonna get her real good, Zeus, because she called my name yesterday.
Yeah.
But the Lord said absolutely not.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, from your lips to God's ears, all right, Takesha. I ain't gonna ask you to put yourself in a situation where the good Lord has to talk to you in ministry.
But I did want to say one thing, Zeus, if I can say it real quick.
Yeah.
Did you have a picture of those text messages? My love.
Oh, the screenshot with the
Text.
I don't have it on my device, but I could probably find it. Why?
I don't want to hold you up, but I just want to let you know how we know that this guy did not write these text messages. Zeus, you know what people do when they in a relationship?
What's that?
Don't they pillow talk?
Mm-hmm.
Don't they talk about, they said this guy was in a relationship with this guy a whole year.
Yeah.
Why would he have to put in a text, my dad has gone MAGA? You don't think they done discussed that before, Zeus?
They have.
Why would he just be telling him this in the text message, Zeus? We ain't think about this.
Yeah.
Why would I have to tell you in a text message, my dad has gone MAGA? Because I'm awfully sure me being kicked out because I'm in a relationship with a guy that has come up, Zeus. Why would I have to say my dad has gone MAGA?
You don't have
That's
to.
just them trying to make it seem like this boy is more to the left. See, you got to dissect that text message, Zeus. That's
Takesha's
never
right.
I've never told my lover before. Why they kick you out? Because my dad is MAGA. Then I got to turn around in this, in this detailed text message about everything I did, change my clothes and all that. Why I got to tell you my dad is gone MAGA?
Just to inject the politics in it and to make it into a left versus right issue.
Absolutely. That's how we know they fake.
Thank you.
Now you go on and get out of here because
All
I know
right.
you got it.
I got to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Takesha a huge round of applause. No lies detected. Lord have mercy. I got to get up out of here. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an incredible show and an incredible week. And you all are incredible people. You all deserve a huge round of applause. It's starting to seem to me like MAGA does not want to get up here and defend their dear leader anymore. And that means Zeus wins. Zeus is the Rizzler, and he's been taking care of business all week. I want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists out there. Without you, this show wouldn't be what it is: entertaining, educational, and definitely engaging. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and this goes out to all the Zeus haters. And you know what? I'm going to start saying the MAGA gang. They don't like it when you call them a gang, but they're a gang. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send them where they came from, straight to hell. I gotta get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go. I'm out of here. Take care. Have a great weekend. Let's go. Shout out to Governor Gavin Newsom. My sister, I saw you, but I didn't know if you wanted to come up. Have a great weekend. Keep it rocking.
Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild
great rest of your weekend.
Looking like a Rob Liberace. It's all good. From Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb and your city making play. Throw up a finger and feel the same way. Straight putting it down for California. Yeah.
Let's go. W. Gavin Newsom. Talking all that trash about California. Y'all better relax. Y'all better relax when y'all start talking about California.
That's right.
Definitely in the house. Frisco. You know LA in this. Let's go. Pasadena. Hollywood wants some of this. Hey. Sacramento, where you at? All right, have a great weekend. I'm out of here.